Food's ready.
It's time to cook the book.
Duval.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in to Cook the Book with me, your host, Taylor Mathis, where we cook up a same-game parlay for Monday Night Football to beat the books and take it all the way to the bank and create a dish that is authentic to the city of Monday Night Football. We did win last week, so we have now won 2 same-game parlays in a row on Cook the Book. So we are hot, on fire, making money, and making delicious dishes. So no parlay punishment for me this week. Monday Night Football. We've got the Chiefs taking on the Jags this weekend. I wouldn't say this is a highly anticipated game. For the Chiefs, it's just another primetime game. For the Jags, this could be a statement win as they're starting out 3-1. So things are looking pretty good for Jacksonville. With that, what are we going to be making today? What is authentic to the Jacksonville, Florida area? And that is going to be Mayport Shrimp and Grits. Now, because I'm not in the Mayport area, I don't have actual Mayport shrimp. We are gonna do shrimp and grits, and then of course, I'm gonna pair it with a delicious cocktail that is native to the Florida area. So stay tuned, let's make some money, and let's make some yummy food. You're going to need some shrimp. Now, if you're in Mayport, you must be really lucky or in the Jacksonville area because I've heard the shrimp there is amazing, juicy, sweet, or thick. We unfortunately can't get some same-day caught Mayport shrimp, so if you're gonna be getting it from the store, for me, made sure it was peeled, deveined, tail off, but I wanted it to be wild caught and not farm raised, so that's what we got going on right here when it comes to the shrimp. For the grits, you wanna make sure that you get stone ground grits. So I've got some stone ground grits here. We are gonna be using sharp white cheddar. You're of course gonna need some butter for this. When it comes to your veggies, you've got onion, green pepper. We're gonna use lemon later on. Paprika is a must in the spices, as well as salt and pepper. And then we are gonna need some chicken stock, unsalted preferably, a little bit of good old milk, and then last but not least, bacon. I love bacon, guys. I'm technically not supposed to eat it because I have my gallbladder out and pork doesn't agree well with your body when you don't have a gallbladder, but I do love me some bacon, so bacon. And then for garnish, you're gonna use parsley. The parsley is a little weeping here, but that is okay. She will still get the job done for us. Let's get the party started with our grits. Now we're gonna use our chicken stock, and then to make it creamier, you're gonna use your milk. So it calls for 4 cups of chicken stock, but we're gonna do half and half. So 2 cups of this and 2 cups of this. First, 2 cups of our chicken stock. Seems like a lot of chicken stock. Woo! And now, 2 cups of milk. Literally the perfect amount. We are going to put this on the stove and bring it to a boil. While we are starting out with a failure, I accidentally let this completely boil over. So as you can see, we've got milk and chicken stock all over the stove, but what's a little cooking if you're not making some mistakes along the way? Now that I properly have my milk and stock to a boil, we are going to whisk in 1 cup of the stone ground grits. We're going to leave our grits sitting at a simmer for 20 to 25 minutes, but you gotta make sure that you are stirring those babies occasionally to get them nice and thick. While our grits is sitting over there on the stove, let's go to game 1 of our same game parlay, Monday Night Football, the Chiefs versus the Jags. Now, I said to start this video, not highly anticipated, but the Jags are starting off hotter than expected at 3-1. The Chiefs maybe on a bit of a decline, I would say. as they've started out this season. Now they're sitting at 500, 2-2. We are going to go with the Jags plus 4.5. So I did move that spread a little bit to an alternate spread. The current number right now is actually 3.5. The Jags are getting 3.5 points at home. But I moved it, bumped it up a little bit to 4.5 just to play it a little bit safer. This duo here, Chiefs-Jags, in the last 8 straight, the Chiefs have beat the Jags. Something is telling me maybe in this game we have an upset and the Jags get it done. This year, they're doing so much better than expected. You look at the offense, Trevor Lawrence, he's been doing all right. He is leading the league with 7 interceptions, though, to start the season, which is not great. Travis Etienne has really been the real workhorse with that offense on that run game. He's 18th overall in the league in that running back position, averaging a little over 100 yards a game. But where they've really been excelling is on the defensive side of the ball, particularly that pass rush and that pass defense has been much better than that run defense has been, but 18th overall in that total defense. I think that they can keep this close if that defense keeps performing the way that it is. Anthony Campanile has taken over as the defensive coordinator for the Jags, and things have been looking bright so far, especially when it comes to the turnover game. Now, turnovers can be a bit of a luck of the draw, but against San Francisco, the Jags had 4. Against the Panthers in week 1, they had 3. So they've been doing a lot of that takeaway action. If they can make that happen this week against the Chiefs, I think that is going to keep this game close. The fact that they lean on the run keeps the control and the pace of the game, and they're at home. I like the Jags to keep this close with the plus 4.5, but honestly, I wouldn't even mind sprinkling a little bit on the money line for an upset. So leg 1, Jags plus 4.5, alternate spread. While we are waiting on our grits, let's cut up our vegetables that are gonna go in with the shrimp. I already finally chopped up some onion here, so now let's chop up some green pepper. Guys, last week, I did my episode from Sandwich, Illinois with my mom, and I gotta say it was my most successful episode, and thank you guys for watching. That was so fun for my mom and I to do. Her and I just like love doing goofy, weird stuff together. So that was really fun for us to do this together, and she's always such a good sport. She'll just participate in anything. We went home for a wedding. It was my cousin's wedding, and oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. The church that she got married in was in Seneca, which is a really small town in Illinois, and that church was stunning, like stunning. Last place I would expect in Seneca, Illinois, for there to be this beautiful church, and then the reception was at a country club, and we had so much fun. I don't know about you guys, but is your family dancers, or are they the type that's a little just more chill hanging out during a wedding? My family loves to dance. So I was out on that dance floor like all night long. I don't really care if the music's not even like the music that I like. I just want to dance and have fun. So I'm all about the dance floor. I gotta say though, they played like a lot of Drake, which I do like Drake, but it's not like necessarily my favorite. But I had a lot of fun with the song that was like, with the F, I can't say the word on here because I don't want to get in trouble. With the F the function, with the F the function, with the F, it's like, is it Stacy? Is it Trina? Or something like that. With the F the function. That was really fun. We did the Hokey Pokey. My noni loves the Hokey Pokey. That was a blast. And I'm trying to think of what some of my other favorites were. Oh, Fleetwood Mac. My family loves Fleetwood Mac. Oh my God, and we're obsessed with, do you guys remember the song On the Way Down by Ryan Cabrera? On the way down, I saw you and you saved me from myself. And I won't forget the way you love me. That one, that was a very fun song for us, and we thought it was gonna be a huge hit when we played it, and nobody knew it besides our family. So that was super fun though still, because who gives a shit, honestly, or gives a crap? I don't know what YouTube's rules are on the cuss words. But yes, I love a good wedding dance floor. Our grits have been on the stove for 20 minutes. We are gonna now add in 1 cup of our sharp white cheddar and 2 tablespoons of our butter, mix it in, and then salt and pepper to taste. And you're gonna let that warm until you're done with the shrimp. So here we go. There goes our butter. And then guys, I'm not gonna lie, I went a little over a cup with the sharp cheddar because I like my grits cheesy. Grits are heated up and ready to go. Vegetables ready to go for the shrimp. Now we need to take 4 thick cut slices of bacon here, and we are gonna dice these babies up. Like I said, I love bacon, but I don't have a gallbladder, so I'm really not supposed to eat it, but I technically do anyway. Also, guys, I forgot to tell you, if you think my skin looks weird at all in this, I got microneedled this week, which I've never done before, but basically it's like taking a needle and stabbing it in your face like a bajillion times. And then I got used exosomes, which are like, they can be animal or human derived, I believe. And they like put them into the skin while we did the microneedling, if that makes sense. I'm not really sure. It's supposed to help with fine lines, wrinkles, age spots, all that stuff. But it takes like 5 days to fully heal. And I'm on day 3, so I've got a little bit longer. So if my skin looks weird, flaky, discolored, any of that stuff, it's the microneedling. And that is that. A team that has been better than expected for me is probably the Seahawks. And the reason I say that is because I just wasn't sure how Sam Darnold was going to fit in Seattle. Granted, this is only going into week 5. But things have still been going really well for him, despite the fact he's not still in Minnesota. I know he has a lot of weapons. Jackson Smith-Njigba is freaking stud. Just Jackson Smith-Njigba. Look up stud in the dictionary. You're going to see a picture of Jackson Smith-Njigba. He is way too good for his own good. And yeah, I feel like that backfield's way better than expected too. Charbonnet, obviously Kenneth Walker, good little duo that they got going on there. So I like what I'm seeing out of Seattle, and I'm a little surprised by it. Once your bacon is diced and it is over here on the stove cooking up, you gotta let that go for like 5 minutes. So while we do that, let's go to leg 2 of our same game parlay. Chiefs, Jags, and we are gonna ride with the under 47.5. Now it depends on the book right now, seeing that number fluctuate in both directions, but we're gonna go with 47.5 for our parlay. I already spoke quite a bit to the Jags defense and how much it's an improvement as opposed to last season. So we know they've got a good defensive play, especially in the air. And the fact that they're very run heavy and they lean on Travis Etienne to do most of that workload. When you look at the Chiefs, they're pretty darn good defensively this season right now too. Stopping the run, top 10, they're 8th overall. And they have been leaning on their run quite a bit because Xavier Worthy's been out. Granted, he will be back this week. But Isaiah Pacheco, been seeing a lot going on in that backfield for the Chiefs. With both of these teams being fairly run heavy, we're gonna slow down the clock, control pace of play, all of that. And because the spread is so close, I'm thinking we're going to see a low scoring, close game. Now, that total is a little high. Maybe bookmakers are thinking there's gonna be a little more scoring than I'm anticipating, but I feel like it's not gonna be that high scoring of a game. I think this is a statement piece game for the Jags if they can upset the Chiefs, and I do think it's going to be lower scoring and their defense is going to shine. So give me the under on the total of 47.5 for leg 2 of our same game parlay. When our bacon is complete, nice and crispy, we're going to set it aside on a plate, and you're going to have the leftover grease here in the pan. You're going to toss in your veggies, saute it in this mixture for about 3 to 5 minutes. Remember, our onions finely chopped, our green peppers diced. I hate the little spritzes of grease that can come up. They hurt if they get in the wrist. Now let's add to our sauteed veggies. We are gonna put in a half teaspoon of paprika, and then I believe I forgot to say the garlic. You need the garlic too. We need 2 cloves of minced garlic. That's about equivalent to 1 teaspoon. So let's add these 2 babies in. 1 teaspoon of garlic. Time for our most important ingredient, our shrimp. So you're just gonna toss all that shrimp in there with those veggies that are permeating with all the spices and that bacon juice. So you wanna use about a pound of shrimp. We're on our final steps of the shrimp. You're gonna deglaze the pan now, which means to basically just get the little bits out for flavor with a little more of the chicken stock. So we're just gonna put in just the tiniest bit of that. You're gonna add in 1 more tablespoon of butter and half of a lemon juice. And then don't forget to add back in your bacon. Once you've combined everything, the shrimp and the grits, you put the grits in the bowl, you put the shrimp over top, and it is complete. I am so excited to try this. First time I tried shrimp and grits was in Atlanta, and I thought I was not going to like it because I thought the grits would be too gritty of a texture, but I love shrimp and grits. So I'm really excited for this. Then we are going to wash it down with a good old-fashioned rum runner. That is very Florida. It's just rum, grenadine, and pineapple juice. It's pretty basic here in my nice little glass. So let's give it a taste. Whew. Give that a second. While I let this cool for a second, let's go over leg 3 of our same game parlay. And oh, there's Ace. He just wanted to make a little cameo appearance for leg 3. And maybe it's because leg 3 is going to be Travis Kelce over 3.5 receptions. Travis Kelce's a big man, and Ace is a big man. He's 140 pounds. He's an XL bully. But we're going to go over 3.5 receptions for Travis Kelce. Kelce's already hit this number 3 out of 4 games so far this season. He is Patrick Mahomes' main favorite target. The guy is likely retiring after this year. The Chiefs are in prime time, and this might be a stupid reason, but I really don't care. When the Chiefs are in prime time, Travis Kelce is going to have a big game. They're going to flash to Taylor Swift, who just came out with her new album today, Life of a Showgirl. It's all about money at the end of the day. The NFL is a business, and I'm telling you, if Travis Kelce has a big game, they're going to show Taylor Swift. They're going to get more viewers. Just trust me on this one. Kelce's going over 3.5 receptions, so there's that. Leg 3 of the parlay is Travis Kelce, tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs, to go over 3.5 receptions in this game. Hopefully now we've given this a little bit of time to cool off and we can dive in to getting our first bite of our shrimp and grits. So here we go. Still really hot, but we're going for it. Oh my God. I outdid myself on this one. Holy. And the rum runner, fantastic. I do love rum, though. I will say I do love rum. I love a little fruity drink on the beach, so maybe that's very Florida of me. Honestly, if I could pick anywhere to probably live, like that I haven't lived before, it would maybe be Florida. I want to live by the water. I've never lived by the water in my life, and I think Florida would be a great place to do it, and I would never move to California. So, yeah. Overall, I give myself a 10 out of 10 for these shrimp and grits. This was a delicious recipe. Fortunately, didn't have the Mayport shrimp, but this will do. Whew. I'm going to be eating that entire bowl. Now, before I get going, let's go over our same game parlay for Monday Night Football, Chiefs, Jags. Leg 1 is going to be the Jags plus 4.5. Remember, I did alternate spread that. The current number right now while I'm making this video is actually 3.5 on the spread. Leg number 2 is going to be under on the total of 47.5. Defenses are going to dominate in primetime, I believe. That's why we're going under the total. And leg number 3, Travis Kelce over 3.5 receptions. The man's going to have a big game in primetime, especially with T Swift there. So that parlay at the time of recording this and doing this Cook the Book episode 5 is going to be plus 367. Remember, all odds are subject to change. Injuries could happen. Lines can change, all of that stuff. But that is what I got this parlay at the time of making my Cook the Book video. So, guys, let's hope we can cash 3 parlays in a row, because if I don't, you guys get to choose my parlay punishment if we don't win, which I haven't had to do a punishment yet because we've been winning. But we're going to go with the option of either 1, I've got to do a spoonful of some type of alligator hot sauce, since alligators are super native to Florida and alligator hot sauce. Or number 2, I have to read off the 5 most ridiculous Florida man quotes that I can find on the internet or headlines that I can find on the internet, and then create my own as well. I feel like that one's not as daring and everybody's gonna pick the hot sauce, but I was having trouble thinking of something very Florida-esque to do for these. So, or maybe if you guys have a parlay punishment idea that you would want me to do, let me know what it is. Write it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Cook the Book, Week 5, Monday Night Football game, Jags, Chiefs, and a little bit of yummy Mayport shrimp and grits. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in, and let's cook the book.
Honey, the food's ready.
It's time to cook the book.